Let's talk about teenagers today. Let's understand our teenagers. Well, as an academician, I've watched parents pick up their children when the love really oozes out. When they pick up their child, I can see all smiles. I can see the love coming out, and the child hugs back. And then something happens when the child reaches teenage. The smile vanishes like that. So the parents who do come to pick up a senior child, if they do, they just say hi and the child gets on inside the car and that's it. So let's understand what happens. Where do our smile vanish? So yes, the teenager stops snuggling to you perhaps, stops obeying all your instructions. It's as simple as that. Well, they stop writing on your command, they stop studying at your command. Maybe on your instructions, they're neither there for food or changing the clothes the way or the time that you want. And they are no longer in your control. But can we instead get a pet then if that's what we wanted? So do you think it's a good idea to get a pet who'll listen to you? Don't get a child. Don't have a child. Get a pet. He'll be in control. He'll say, whenever you say come, he'll come. When you say stop, sit, the pet will sit down. But we have this beautiful facet of life, which is a teenager. And you know what, parents? I frankly feel that we as adults become in love with problems. We want problems. So when a baby is born, we have problems. When the baby is pottying all day, we have problems. That we need to clean the nappy each day. I wish he'd quickly get out of this stage and quickly learn how to become toilet trained. Well, are we really enjoying our children? When did we stop? Well, if you're enjoying your child, each stage is different and should be. Why do we want them to become something else when they're not? So when a child is an infant, we want them to start, sitting up or crawling or walking then, and then holding hands, and then crossing road, and then becoming independent. We just want something else. Just enjoy your child. Whatever facet of life that your child is in, they're all beautiful. What do we do? Where do we go? You get lost. Maybe when we have these children who are growing up, when your child is say 10-year-old, do you want the child to remain 10-year-old or do you want your child to grow up into a smart teen? If yes, then appreciate the teenage. But if no, then you want your child to be at that 10-year-old forever. Is that what you want? No. You want him to grow, right? But you don't want him to grow the way all teenagers would. So what is it that you want? You know what's strange? That we want our infants to be teenagers and our teenagers to be infants and snuggle to us and come and coochie-coo and be just like they were a couple of years earlier. Well, let me tell you, this teenager will be a rebel, will need a space of his own, will need no fussing. In fact, you come near them and put your hand, especially near a boy, if you put your hand on the head of a princess, don't. That's how he would react. Not like your 9-year-old child, not like he was when he was 9-year-old. No longer does he want the coochie-cooing. No longer does he want you fussing over him. He's very different from your niece or your nephew, and you thought that they'd all be the same. You thought that, well, so-and-so's child is doing a particular thing, mine is not. Well, why did we not, go to the factory and produce 10 maybe teenagers together, all identical? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? That children will be children, teenagers will be teenagers, and each teenager will be different. But some things you cannot do without. They will have certain mood swings, they will have certain temper issues. That's part of growing. That is teenage. Enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, let's analyze. You loved him, really, you really loved him a lot till he was getting good marks, and those marks were because you were there by his side and teaching him little additions or how to write ABC, and it was all very simple. Then this child grew up and became a bit of a rebel, started saying no to you, perhaps got lesser marks because, well, he had become dependent on you. So you were his crutch and you became one. You made him dependent on you. And now suddenly you decide that, well, I've done enough. Enough is enough. I stop now. You better start putting your clothes in place. I'm no longer going to iron your clothes. You take care of your table. It's so dirty. I've cleaned the table enough for so many years. Well, suddenly what happened? You trained him. You did things for him out of love. And now you want him to be independent. But did you train him to be independent? Did we really take care of these things, or we just focused on marks and clothes and food? Did we focus on what we wanted 5 years later? Did we focus on training him to be independent? Did we focus on him cleaning his own room or his own clothes or helping you at house? Suddenly you feel that you're overburdened and you have a lot of work and you're being pressurized now. It's better we learn early, and teenagers won't be that bad then. So one day when you decide that enough is enough and I'm no longer going to be there in life, is where the tiff begins. The child is, let's understand a teenager. He is going through a lot of mood swings. There are a lot of changes, internal, external, hormonal changes that are happening. And this child is confused. He's neither an adult nor a child. You treat him sometimes like an adult and sometimes like a child. Decide. Teenage is so beautiful. If only you would take the teenage as a beautiful phase of life. So parents, these are children to be loved, to be enjoyed. You enjoy how he'll, bang his door for no reason. Yeah, you enjoy it. This is part of life. Did your little infant not potty where you did not want? You did not get angry about that. Well, accept this as well. Now that the teenager has become halfway independent, halfway adult, halfway a child, he needs your support to give him that space. He needs your support to treat him like an adult. You need his support to leave some studies on his own. Listen, understand what I'm saying. Then when your child is beginning to study, he's become independent, class 9th. Now he gets poor marks, and what do? You scold him. You don't say that was your effort, great. Now it's all up to you. You need to understand how to get a little better. So out of 10, if your child's getting 4, focus on him getting 6. But you say, look at the other children, it was so simple, you had a tutor, and yet you've got 4 or 6 out of 10. Well, this was his effort. This is part of his growing up, learning how to be an independent learner. But don't provide him crutches, don't give him tuitions. In class 7th, all parents, if you provide tuitions from class 1, this will never stop. It carries on till 10th. Because the child's like, well, the tutor's always there or mother's always there to help me. Did you make your child independent learner? And that happens as quickly as grade 1, prep. And how will that happen is when you stop criticizing. Stop pointing out that the A that was written was not a perfect A. Could have been written in a better way. Stop holding hands when he's holding a crayon. Make him an independent learner. And that's when you will start loving your teenager, because you know that whatever he's getting is what he's capable of, or it is his own effort that has brought 6 or 7 out of 10. And you just need to push him a little to put in a little more effort. Do not focus on marks. They never help you. They never help the child. Are the marks important, or is the effort important? The effort. So if marks were important, why don't you bribe the teacher and let your child get 9 out of 10? Does that help? Will that help in future? So dear parents, understand your teenager, love him, understand and love the teen age. Love the age. It's not what it was like before. And you know what you could do to understand your teenage better? Just go and look around for other teenagers. And you realize that talk to parents. Find out, are you the only one whose kid has mood swings? Are you the only one whose child is teenage is horrible, if you can say that? Do you want to call him horrible? Well, then stop using harsh words for your child. So for 1 week, just try what I'm saying. Praise your child's efforts. Stop pointing fingers. Your bed is not clean. Your towel is on the ground. Just keep praising and say, thank you for helping me put your table or towel or keeping your table clean for today. Even though you feel it's a little dirty, use affirmations. Use positive affirmations. For what you say will happen.